What is going on, guys? Mills here, bringing you some fire content on the Fire 18 channel. In today's video, everyone, we're going to be recapping the SDS stream that was shown to us today. That was basically franchised in March to October. They showed us two modes today, basically. They talked first. For the first part of the stream, they kind of talked to us a bit about franchise, what little new additions they added into it, as well as the new announcer. So they kind of have like a Doris Burke-esque kind of like character now in MLB The Show 19 that reports all the games. She is actually a real life figure too. Heidi, I think, is her name. She's kind of going to be like announcing some of the games. She's like a sportscaster. Look her up in real life, guys. Just look up Heidi Sportscaster. You'll find her immediately. But yeah, she's going to be added into MLB The Show 19 as kind of the Doris Burke of MLB, and I'm really excited to hear her announcing in the games and all that. It's going to be a very fresh feel, in my opinion. Definitely going to be very cool. So, anyways, one of the big things they really talked about, and this is before I'm getting into all the legends and all that and pre-order bonuses, is they talked about contract extensions and all that. So now you were able to extend the amount of you're able to extend contracts now in the game for players, and you're able to balance out how much money they make per year. So you can do like front end or back end deals. You can obviously extend money and all that. You can promote this player, of course, too. Like, do you want to make him a star player or just like a utility man? You know, like you can set them up for different positions. And in general, I really liked that. Like, it was really, I liked how it was presented to us, like on how we could like give these players extensions. And if they like the deal, they'll take it. And then you can even see like how much money they're going to be making every year and all that. It shows you the salaries, and that was something I definitely enjoyed. They also showed us some new presentation angles and all that, so they kind of brought to us like some new camera angles before the at-bat and all that, whether it was from like really high up back, you know, like to the side of the pitcher. And, you know, they showed us some different angles. They did a slight preview on the pitch speeds in the game now, so they showed to us like what it's going to be looking like, and like, so far it looks really nice, and hopefully it translates to online, but so far it looks pretty good, you know? The pitch speeds look good, and that was kind of what they were showing us, I think, for like the first 40, maybe 30 minutes of the stream. They're kind of just showing us like franchise, what's somewhat new, and also just talking about the announcer and all that, and how she's obviously going to be wearing different outfits depending on the when it is in the season, like if it's summer, if it's fall, and all that. And yeah, I generally liked where franchise is going. Obviously, not too much big stuff improved, but hey, they're making an effort. I hope they focus on franchise even more for the next game, but for MLB 20. But we're not even going to be talking about only 20. MLB 19 hasn't even released yet, but you know what I mean. But yeah, some very nice additions all in all for franchise. But March to October really killed it, man. Let's just talk about that now. So, very insane stuff. Really liked what they showed us in the Games on Monday trailer with the whole momentum and kind of just cooling off and all that. And the devs kind of showed us more. Like they kind of told us a lot about like the rewards in this game. They even showed us actually the Seattle Mariners and all that, and what the potential rewards could be for that. They most specifically 87 J Buhner. That's pretty good at the start of the game, guys. So overall, I liked all the rewards they were really showing. They were showing us some potential and all that. Even like some new like souvenirs and all that. Pretty cool stuff in my opinion. And yeah, they also kind of like, they decided to, for example, they were playing I think with both the White Sox and the Brewers, for example, in the season, and they were kind of showing to us all the stuff that could happen, like whether it's like a really clutch situation where you have to get a walk-off bomb or you have to pitch well. They were kind of showing us all the morale boosts in the game and how it affects you. And let's just talk about that for a bit now. So they were kind of talking about how, so like, say you have a big momentum ball. That's basically what it is. There's like they talked a bit about the momentum in this game. The bigger momentum ball you have, the most likely it is that you're going to get a win in that game with that ball. And as the games go on, the ball's going to get smaller, so it means you have less likely of a chance to win with that momentum. But hey, it definitely looks pretty good, I think. But like I said, it was not a guarantee whether you'll win with the ball every time. It's more just because it's more based on like how big the ball is, and I think it's gonna be much harder. Like say in Legend mode, you have a really big ball. It's gonna be kind of like comparing that to like an all-star, like maybe like middle-sized momentum ball. And they were kind of showing us how that affects your team. Like, are you able to sweep this really good team? Are you able to, like, get a few wins? And also, they did talk a bit about cooling off. Say you screw up in a walk-off situation, or your offense just sucks, or you got a blown save. You're definitely going to drop a lot in those cooling off points. And it's the same thing there. I think, like, the more, like, of a bigger cooling off ball you have, the more likely it is you're going to lose, which is probably very likely. And then, obviously, it's the same stuff as the hot stuff, as the momentum, but it's just more instead, you get more losses. And they were kind of showing to us, like, more, like, moments, like, in the entire, like, March to October mode. Like, it wasn't like you play every single game. Like, you kind of simulate a lot of the games, kind of like a simulator mode, but you do get yourself a chance to play. It's a bit like franchise tied in with Diamond Dynasty. That's kind of how they really presented it to us, and I really like that. It looks like a game mode I'd actually play even, like, if I don't want to play Diamond Dynasty. If I'm getting bored of Diamond Dynasty or I'm not doing so good in ranked, maybe I'll play this mode, have a bit of fun with it. Try out some new challenges and all that. And yeah, they were even just showing us, like, the transactions of this game too. Like, so they automatically pick players you're gonna trade, and then it says here are the 3 potential trade acquisitions. The examples they showed us here were, I think, Andrelton Simmons, Billy Hamilton, and Wilmer Flores. And since they were playing with the Brewers here, they were not anymore with the White Sox. They were playing with the Brewers. They had Tyler Saladino they were going to trade as a shortstop. And they had Andrelton Simmons literally on trade acquisitions. They decided to pick him up. Why? Because they were trading him. They were trading Saladino, and Simmons is a better shortstop. So basically, you have to make those decisions in the game too. Like, you're going to be doing some big trade acquisitions that allow your team to improve as you continue the season. And yeah, they actually, even at the end, like, if you win the World Series with that team, it kind of showed that I don't think you actually have played the playoffs. Like, you might play, like, some games, but not all the games. And if you win, the World Series, they will give you a letter grade based on how well you did that season. So it showed us at the end of that stream, like, they got an A with the Brewers because they managed that team well and they got them to a World Series. And it also depends on where they are, Like, say you're playing with, like, a long shot team and they make the World Series. They're going to give you a really high grade based on how well you did and all that. There's a lot of factors into play. And obviously, the higher difficulty you play at, the better cards you get, which may potentially lead to a diamond, like, for example, when they showed us that Jay Buhner. But like I said, rewards aren't exactly final for that stuff yet, but it was still really cool what they brought to us. Like, they really brought us some interesting things. And I'm a big fan of it, I'm a really big fan of what they're showing us in March to October. I really can't wait for what's going to be happening there. And now let's go talk about the postseason rewards, because this was quite big. So they announced to us one new legend that you can get in this game. He's actually like I think you're able to get him as like a pre-order bonus too. He's from the New York Yankees. He's a literal god. He is a legend in Yankee history. There's actually even like he's known really well. He's not Mickey Mantle, sadly, but still, let's give it up for probably one of the biggest wish list candidates ever. I don't think he was on my wish list for players, but like for a lot of people, Lou Gehrig. Guys, he is the new, he's one of the legends that they announced / pre-order bonuses in the game. They're kind of showing us he's an 87 overall and all that. So very great stuff right there. I'm really glad they were able to get him into the game. Very great player. Very deserving of a card for a long time. And they got him in there, guys. Really excited about that. Very, very pumped about that, really. They showed us this right at the beginning of the stream, too. Like, they didn't even go middle of the stream. They showed us at the beginning of the stream as well, which was really exciting. And then they also talked about the pre-order bonuses. Two of them we were seeing before. It was an 87, I think it was like an 89 Jackie Robinson, 87 Chipper Jones when he was like late 30s. And then the other reward they talked about, I think, this was like a catcher, I believe, like an 87 overall catcher, I think, from like the shot. I'm sorry, I don't remember. Alright, so we managed to remember who this card was. It took me a bit of time because I actually hadn't heard of him at first glance. His name, I believe, is Jason Kendall, guys. He is of the Pittsburgh Pirates, and they gave him a flashback card in the game. This was something I was not expecting. By the way, all three of these players, like with Chipper, Jackie, and Jason, they're all pre-order bonuses that you can get at the start. And they mentioned that Jason Kendall's a really fast catcher, so that's going to probably be a decent benefit if you want a really fast catcher at the start of the game. So yeah, those are some really cool postseason rewards that they showed to us. I generally liked them. Was a big fan of them in my opinion. And yeah, I'm just really glad to see where, like, how good those players may be. And there's actually one more thing they talked a bit about in I think the game that was not shown last year. Like, it wasn't emphasized on, but they were like, you know what, let's add it. And it was like every time they hit this viewer goal, they showed us a new one. Excuse me for the fart, by the way. And it was stadium sounds. They showed us what would happen, say, if you got a base hit and all that, or you got some RBIs. Every time they scored, they gave you like a ka-ching, ka-ching, like those money sounds. Like I think they were doing like Sonic coins, and it was like, it was nothing new because you could hear this in NBA as well. Like every time you made a free throw or something, there would always be like a really cool sound and all that you can have. So it was nothing entirely new, but it was pretty cool stuff. Like the home run as well. They also showed us some pretty cool sounds for that. Like they had like a roaring line and all that. That might happen even for the Detroit Tigers specifically. And yeah, they really showed us stadium sounds as well. Something that I think is going to be pretty underrated this year, in my opinion. I feel like some people didn't give it as much respect, I think, on the stream as it deserves. Like, it's a pretty cool effect they have. It really shows that, like, the game cares that you're doing well, that you're succeeding in their game. The game likes that you're playing, or like, no, like it's kind of supposed to show the stadium sounds that the devs are liking that you're playing their game. They're liking that you're enjoying the game, you know? That's why I generally like the addition as well. Alright, Dad, so that's going to end the video here. Hope you all really enjoyed this recap. If you want more recaps like this, make sure to leave a like. Subscribe if you're new to the channel, though, and become a new dad today. And yeah, I'll see you all in the next video stream, everyone. Hope everyone has a great day, guys. Peace!